This is Courtney Palladino out of Providence, Rhode Island, Platinum Consultant. It is now December 29th, 2020.
And I'm Molly Foster out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Gold Consultant, back from Antigua. Thank you, Chanel, for those greetings. I appreciate it.
Today is really awesome because it's one of my favorite topics. I get so excited over this. I don't know why, but we're talking about organization. I just love organizing. Who doesn't love organizing? But Molly Foster and I are going to be going over some travel organization. And then part 2 is going to be more personal organization for 2021. Okay, so let's go ahead and start screen sharing. Of course, if you guys have any questions, you can definitely put it in the chat box and we will answer them. So welcome to Organization in Your Life 2020. Let's get started. Okay. So it's really important for you guys to start collecting all of your stuff, right? So I always usually suggest, just like the Lees always tell you, to go get yourself some kind of eraser calendar. It doesn't have to be an actual calendar. It can be a blank one, something where you can start writing down your goals for the month, long-term goals, short-term goals. If you want to have a calendar one like this, you know, they have those little eraser markers, right, that you can do the colored lines or dots if you like and start. See, this one has meetings, due dates, you know, lunch dates if you have any follow-ups to do, right? Starting to get your stuff kind of organized with all of your material. Okay, so like I have a couple of them. I have different sizes, right? And I have obviously have one that has for like my workout schedule. So I have one for workout. I've got one for travel. I've got one for Epic. I've got a couple of different ones, but go ahead and get yourself some kind of eraser calendar, because even if you want your vision goals, have it on eraser calendar, because once it's complete, instead of erasing it, just go ahead and just make a line, because when you look back on it at the end of December of 2021, you're like, look at all the stuff I accomplished, right? You accomplished a lot of stuff, okay? So actually, we're gonna go back. So the eraser calendar, okay? And then the next thing that Molly and I are gonna show you is our favorite thing ever, is our organization book. Yay! If you don't already have an organization book, an appointments calendar, an hourly calendar set up, go ahead and get yourself one. Molly and I happen to have the same one, okay? But if you can see on Molly's and hers, like we actually highlight all the important things, one that needs to be done. So this one is for 2021. Molly's right now is for this year, right? So it's still for December. But on mine, you know, mine is color coordinated for bills. It's for like Evo residuals, commissions. So then I can actually mark down on the side, and as I know it's hard to see, but I actually can mark down on the side of the note section. And on mine, it says, this is how much I need to make approximately each day. Now, if you are working a 9-to-5 job where you're doing other things like door dashing, Instacart shopping, right? Go ahead and start writing down and trying to figure out, well, I need $1,500 a month, right? Figure out how much you need to make per day, Monday through Friday, or wherever you need to do it, so you know exactly. So for me, I need to make about $85 a day when it comes to Instacart shopping. That's for myself, okay? But that means I need to make about approximately this amount of a certain amount of money a month, right? So then I know exactly how much I'm making. On here, it says Evo commission, right? So if you are receiving commissions, you can start writing that down. It's highlighted in blue when Evo commissions come out, which we know. It's the 15th, as long as it lands on a business day, and the last business day of the month. So you already know when that's coming out. So just put in there, Evo commission, whether you make something or not, you're going to put it in zero or you know, put in the amount that you actually made. So at the end of the month, you know, on the 15th, this is how much I made. On January 29th, this is how much I made. Right now, there's nothing in it. So the total, same thing. I'm part of Epic, so then I'm going to write down how much every Friday I'm making in Epic, right? Instacart shopping, how much I'm making total, right, for the month. CBD sales, how much I'm making every Friday in CBD sales, right? It's all calculated for you in your back office. So you can go to your e-wallet and you can see how much you're making every month, whether you're going to do this every week and where you're going to go back and do it every month and start inputting all the information. So by the end of the month of January, you know exactly how much you made for the entire month with everything that you have collected in money. Did you make the amount that you need per month? If so, great. Then you know exactly how much you can put away for the savings, and you can start calculating that amount each month, right? Because if you're doing multiple businesses, travel, team building, right? CBD, Epic, if you're doing all these things and you have other things that you're doing outside of travel, you need to keep in mind how much are you going to be bringing in? How much are you going to be taking out? Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I would add one more thing as well. If for those of you who are going for your IATAN card, like Courtney has 3 already, every year she's gotten one. So if that is your goal, you need to set a goal sheet for yourself for how much you need to make in a month to hit your $5,000 paid out commission to get your IATAN card in a rolling calendar year too. So when it comes around time when you think you're eligible for it, you can shoot an email to Archer and ask them, hey, am I able to get my IATAN card now? Have I hit my threshold? If you're tracking it, it makes it a lot easier to tell once you're approaching that, so you can push hard to get one.
Okay. And then also, like Molly has on hers, Molly, if you can show us your schedule for December on your hourly. So if you want to buy an hourly calendar, go get one that's an hourly. Ours is set up from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. We had to find one that gave enough time because some end at like 6 o'clock. Obviously, we know that the other times are stretched out longer. So we need to find one that was available for a longer duration of the day.
So ours was bigger for 2020. If you find a good calendar, the front can actually be a dry erase board too. But I used colors for different things, right? The things that Courtney and I do usually go in orange, the Rising Tide stuff or the Evo stuff goes in blue, but it starts at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. depending on the calendar, and it goes all the way down till 10 or 11 p.m. So this fall, I had a class where I was doing taxes so we could teach you guys how to maximize your small business tax deductions. And so at night, I had all that time blocked off because that was my study time. So you guys might want to start blocking that off after business hours to start doing maybe a specialty training mode if you want to get your Disney specialization or your X-Gray or whatever it may be that you might want to sell. So you could block off actual study times throughout the day too. But I write down the important trainings that I want to get to, right? Because in a day, I don't have time to go to all the trainings, but certain ones would help me more than others. And you guys are going to find the same thing. Maybe you don't want to concentrate on team building, but you want to get a Royal Caribbean training in. So you would write that training down so you can make sure that you attend it. We love our calendars.
I love it. I have to have it. And then for me, like I do orientation in January starting on Thursdays, but I still input orientation in my calendar every day, Monday through Friday. It'll say on here when I put it in, 8 o'clock orientation all throughout Monday through Friday. Am I attending orientation every day? No, I'm not. But it's just knowing, so I know what's going on at that time. So if I have a new agent that signs up, I can just quickly, if you don't know what orientation is, right? Then I can go, hey, Susie, orientation's at 8 o'clock today. Okay, go ahead to orientation. Okay, I already know in my head, but you can also have a printout of the flyer as well. But it's already here, so I know. So every single training, it will be inputted on my calendar. Even if I'm doing Instacart, for instance, because I do the grocery shopping, it's still going to be inputted with my trainings already. So I know if I'm on the road and I can pop in an earbud and still go grocery shopping and still listen along, I'm doing 2 things at once, right? Us ladies out there know how to multitask very well. Go ahead and start multitasking. Okay, it's so fun. Okay, Molly, if you want to go into reminders on your phone.
Yes. So another thing that I do is if you have an iPhone or if you're using Google Calendar, you can put reminders on your phone. So for example, I know that every month on the 13th, my $69.95 is due. I'm a Gold consultant, so I don't have to worry about paying for it, but it still tells me, hey, this bill is due for Archer or CBD or Epic or whatever. And I log into my account, I make sure that it's been paid, and I do it that way. And I like to do a reminder on the phone. So usually I'll have, you guys can't see the calendar, but usually I'll have my reminders go off at around 8 or 9 a.m. when I know I'm going to be up. That's the first thing I want to get done in the day. Make sure I knock off, 1, 2, 3 things. It does a little alert. It pops up, boom, it shows up in my calendar. And then I either erase it or I check it off and it hides it in my iPhone. So I know that I've gotten that done for the day. It's just another level of reminding yourself what are the priorities that you need to get done in a day. Because some people might not use a paper calendar. We recommend it. But for those of you who love to use your phone and don't get distracted, get that reminder set up so that when you wake up, you know what you have to get done first thing in that day.
Awesome.
And Nicole says Alexa is great for that too. Yes.
I can't see the chat box.
Okay.
I'm wondering why no one can, like no one's writing.
Oh, there it is. Everyone publicly. So Nicole says Alexa is great for that too. And Annie asked, what is the name and type of the planner that you ladies have? So the one that we bought is called Recollections. You guys,
is that Michael's Craft Store?
Yep, at Michael's. And you want to look for one. Now, for those of you watching the recording, you probably can't see the video, but it's going to say at the top corner, hourly planner. And that's the key, because you'll see ones that say daily or weekly, but you need the one that says hourly. So when you open it up and you break it down, it has the full day for you.
Now there's big ones, and the big ones do have like a folder already in the binder, so you can put extra papers. If you have a team building list, you can put all those names in there already. The small one doesn't have one. It actually has a little envelope that you can put extra stuff in. So on here, it has one of these. So I already have like small notes in there already. So it does have that, and it does have an eraser spot, like an eraser board on it already. So whatever you decide to choose, honestly, I find it easier. I never liked hourly appointment books, because I was like, oh, I go to work 9 to 5. Okay, great. And I just put in all the extra stuff on there. But now that I'm doing trainings and I have to get on trainings, I have to have an hourly calendar now. It's just like, it's a must. Before I was just like, boo. But now it's just like, oh, I have to have this. So whatever you guys decide.
And as a new agent, you might kind of look at this stuff and say, oh, it's not that important. But what happens is when you get to Courtney's level, where she's been doing this for years and she has so many people to help grow and manage, you have to get a system in place that you can duplicate and teach to your agents so that you can build your own team as well. So you got to think a little bit in the future as to why this is really important as well.
Right. But even if you are new, you should still be inputting all of those trainings in your schedule, even if you're working. Make sure you set a time for lunch. It's important. 30-minute lunch, however you want to put it, because you guys got to take care of yourself too. Okay. So after that, I'm actually going to show you something else. Okay. So let me get out of this. Go back. How do I get out of here? There we go. But I'm going to actually show you Calendly. Okay. So for those of you who know Calendly, it's a great tool to use. You don't necessarily have to use it. We will be having a training on it, okay? But Calendly is a really, really good tool because you can start setting this up when you have teams, right? You have new people coming on board, and well, they need to go to a presentation schedule. This does cost money. I believe $12 a month, if I'm not mistaken, but it's very helpful. Do you have to use Calendly? No, you do not. I've only started using Calendly a year ago, literally a year ago. So for the last 3 years of being a part of this business, I didn't use it. What did I use? Old-fashioned pen and paper. I printed out a paper calendar and I just started writing down Victoria, 3 o'clock, Susie, 2 o'clock. Okay, next, I printed out a calendar, right? So there you go. Molly has a printed out one, but I printed out the schedule and I had a blank calendar that you can go on Google, right? You just go to Google and just type in a blank calendar. Okay, they make pretty ones if you wanted something nice, 2021 calendar. Okay, they have all these printable ones. Okay, it's all this blank stuff. Look at that, it's blank. Go ahead and get yourself a blank one if you want and start writing down who's going to January 4th presentation at 1 o'clock. Susie and Victoria, great. You don't have to have Calendly. Print it out. Keep this though. Don't just throw it away. Keep it in your book, keep it somewhere because you can circle it or highlight it if Susie never went. Well, to contact Susie maybe a couple of days later, like, hey, didn't contact Susie. Okay. So you can start doing that one. Okay. But we will have a training on Calendly so you know how to set it up. Okay. Emma, Molly, was there anything else on Calendly we wanted to show them?
No, just an intro to Calendly if you've not heard of it, that way you're familiar. There is a training in our Rising Tide 3 if you want to watch it, but we're doing an updated version for January. Just know that there are automated ways to do things as well, especially for team building. And the by paper hand way works really well. That's how we all started our businesses, like Courtney said, but the Calendly will definitely help elevate your business.
Okay. But yeah, just know that just because I'm using it or Molly's using it or you see every other agent using Calendly, a lot of them just started using it a year ago. So we had to find the old school way of doing things. So I hope that helped. Okay. Now let's go back. Okay. So the next thing, okay, is going to be Bernadette, am I getting on the no? Bernadette, new agent orientation is 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure which training. If you want a private message, Rising Tide training in the chat box, they'll let you know which training. Okay, so the next thing you guys can start doing either an online or getting a binder. Okay, if you decide to get a binder, organization, right? Have yourself the front cover with your travel agency logo on there, Evolution or Archer, whatever you decide, and start inputting information, okay? Please use this as a sample. This is not the actual Florida, California numbers, okay? This is just a sample. But start putting your host agency information. A lot of you ask, what's the IATAN number? What's the CLIA number, right? Where are we located? You have it all right here, right? This is not the actual address. Please do not use this address. This is just a sample. Okay, but you have, Archer Travel. This is Archer Travel's IATAN number, the CLIA number, the Florida number, the CST number, right? This is their location. Start going on your Microsoft Word or wherever you want and start printing it out and putting it in your binder. You have your binder with your certificates, all your supplier information, everything is together. So just like college, right? Here's your science book. You have your science book, you got all your science notes. Here's your English book, right? You have everything separated. There you go. Amelia, do you have a binder? Amelia's got a binder of evolution certificates, etc. in her book, okay? You guys got to keep organized, okay? And that was certifications. Going, okay. And then we have supplier info. Why is it not going? There we go. And we have supplier information. Okay, same thing. Start typing this out if you want. You guys are saying, did I sign up for that? I don't know if you guys ask me, how do I know if I signed up for things? I don't know. I don't know if you signed up for what you signed up for. Okay, but you can go ahead and start putting things down, right? You're always asking, who's my BDM? Once you find out, input it in your little supplier information box and organize it. Okay.
And BDM would be very important because if you love to do fam trips, that's the person who's going to organize it. You're going to get in contact directly with them. They're going to have your email. They're going to put you on an email sheet. If you're doing a group booking, that's the person who's going to help you maximize your commission. So you definitely need to know who the brand development manager is if you're booking a lot of travel on a specific vendor or supplier.
And then also you want to add in your binder, besides supplier information, maybe have a mentor sheet, okay? You want everyone's name and phone number and email address, right? Maybe you have the leads, Charles and Nicole, you have your golds in there, you have your platinum consultant, you have your sponsor, right? You have all this information, and Molly has a mentor sheet already that she has, okay? But have something organized. So you're just like, well, Sally's not answering me. Who do I go to next? Go into your binder. You have your sheet, who the next person in line is. Oh, I can go down the list. Look, let's contact this person. Someone did that yesterday. I got a random phone call from somebody who couldn't get in contact with her sponsor for a couple months. And I helped her out. So I got her in contact with the right person, everything. But she got my phone number. She had it written down in her little book. And so instead of, you guys have all these notebooks, right? Instead of having all these notebooks, go ahead and get all this stuff and put it onto a sheet in your binder. Have tabs if you have to have tabs. Supplier tab, right? Your certificate tab. Here's your certificates. Supplier tab. Here's your suppliers, right? Mentors. Here's all your paperwork in there. Start organizing the stuff. Okay. If you don't want it this way, okay, and print it out, I'm sure there's all this online areas that you can have to organize your stuff online. Molly, I don't know if you know any online organizations.
So for the passwords specifically, because we get a lot of questions on that one, I just use a Google spreadsheet and I put them in alphabetical order, because a lot of times you'll be going through, you'll need to log into 5 or 6, and maybe you don't have your supplier sheet ready. As long as you start with maybe a password sheet and then you moved into the supplier sheet, we have a lot of agents that text us and email us and say, hey, I don't know my password for this, or I don't know my password for that. Those are individual logins. So keeping a tab, because you're going to have over 100, 200, 300 suppliers once your business is really up and running. So you've got to keep yourself organized so that you know how to log into those suppliers as well. That's really important.
Okay, awesome. Password sheet. I'm going to get out of this one and show you something else. Now, within your book, you may want to have maybe some kind of vision, vision paperwork, right? You guys have goals for next year. Start printing out your goals, okay? I have this, so if you want to have it, I can email it to you, okay? But I can actually go on here. What do you want to create in the future? Okay, you can start putting in all your stuff. So I can email this to you. You can start filling this out, typing it out, and then you can print it yourself. Okay, or you can just print it and then just write it in as however you please. But we have, what do you want to create in the future? When you imagine completing your goal, what does your life look like? Okay, what words and phrases represent your life when you achieved your goals, and why do you want to reach your goals? That's really important. Why do you want to reach it? Right? Why? I want to reach my goals because I really want to be debt free, like I do. Okay, I had some baggage. Everyone's got baggage. I had baggage that I really want to be debt free. That's a big goal of mine. That's why I really want to reach it. Why is your why? Your why has to be bigger than anything else, guys. Okay, has to be bigger than anything else. Okay, we'll take emails at the end of the session. Okay, so that's the goal one. Okay, so let's go back to here. Oops. Okay, so that's for the goals. And then the next one that we're going to actually do is trip information. Okay, now with trip information, this is really qualifying your client, guys. We still get a bunch of people asking questions on how to qualify your client. Now, Molly and I did do a training on qualifying your clients, so it is on Rising Tide 3, but you may want to have a sheet so you can start circling or checking things off if you like. Now, this is just a sample of the vacation type, the special occasion, departure date, when they're returning, budget, all-inclusive hotel, right? Cruise information, flight information, right? This is just a sample, okay? So if you actually go to, Molly, I'll do the website, and then you can do the Travel Cafe. Okay, so if you go to your Evo Travel Agent website, okay, if you guys haven't seen this part, it's really helpful, but it says vacation quote request, okay? You can send this to your clients and ask them, hey, can you fill this out? But you can also use this to gather your questions. Okay, so let me go in here. See, it already gives you the qualifying questions already. So you don't have to come and keep asking, what questions should I be asking? It's all right here, right? You have to think, if you are taking your family to Bermuda, Well, you got to find out exactly where you're wanting to go, what dates, you know, who's staying, what room. See, where would you like to explore? What kind of vibe do you want? Activities, what kind of room? Ocean view, cabin, okay? What do you want? Air, car, budget, okay? It's all literally right here in front of you, okay? Of course, you can add more stuff, but I would take all of this, type it out on your computer and add some more extra stuff to it. Okay, if you're not quite sure what extra stuff, you can always go on Facebook, go to the Rising Tide Facebook page and search, go to the search box and type qualify your client. Because other people have asked the same question, and I'm sure other people have given you different type of answers of their templates. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very good information, Courtney.
Okay. And then Molly, I'm going to stop sharing if you want to show them their back office.
Okay, so you guys have to get really used to doing, oh, I lost my screen. New share. All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you've got the travel cafe. When you get into the travel cafe, right, there's a tab that says forms. Tell me if I'm in the wrong place, Courtney, but this is how I normally do it. So you've got different kind of forms here.
I see your homepage.
Okay, let me go back. All right, let me know if you can see that. Travel
Perfect.
Cafe.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So you've got Travel Cafe, right? You go down to forms. You've got all different kind of forms here. You even have referral forms for people, agent reservation forms, invoicing forms, but your booking and commission tracking forms. If you're a tour conductor, you've got those forms here. Let me click on, I think it's agent reserve. Is that the right one, Courtney? Agent reservation forms. And then it opens up a little PDF. So you need to have Word or something. What's really nice too is if you don't like this questionnaire, you can use the one that Courtney did, but a lot of times people forget to ask for like passport information or address information, especially if it's for a cruise, you have to input that. Dates of birth are also important if you're booking things for people and maybe they have kids that are going to be at a lower price, like if they're 9 and under or 15 and under. So you've got the agent reservation form here. I don't know if you guys, can you guys still see that?
Oh, looks like it's still loading.
Okay, let me share again.
Well, I'm always doing that. I have a printout of mine. There it is.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so type of travel, maybe it's a package, maybe it's just air, maybe it's just a cruise, maybe it's a cruise in a hotel, maybe it's just an RV, or it's some kind of vacation home, right? How many clients are going, the main address of the person who's booking, passport or information about their driver's license. If it's domestic, notes at the bottom are very important. If they're celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, or they're getting married, or something like that, you definitely want to put those notes down too. And that's all in your back office.
Now I want to add to this. It says enable editing. You guys can add to this. Okay, if you want to scroll to the top, right, and then she can actually add an extra spot where it may just say flight only, right? You may want to add a spot that says flight only, right? You can add all extra stuff on here. It's just Archer Travel is giving you a template, right? We provide you a lot of tools, but because this is your own personal business, you can add extra stuff to here. So it's already right here, right? If you want to take off the Evolution logo and put your own logo, go ahead. Take off that and put your own logo, okay? Because there's more things than just, more stuff than just, hotel and car. There's flights only, excursions only. Maybe they just need a car, right? There's the spot that says car only. You may want to add that in, okay? So this is all for you. See, she took off all the logos. Now this could just be for you.
So it's really customizable. They made it super
You can print
easy.
all this out while you're on the phone with the client, right? There it is. Yeah, really easy. Okay, I have here a clipboard that says reservation forms, right? Here's my clipboard. This is exactly what Molly has. So when I'm calling my clients, okay, I can tell them, okay, we want what dates, what travel, okay, names, date of birth, it's all right here. All right here. So when that's actually complete, okay, then I can take that, right, and I can put it in my quote section, okay? This says quotes. Okay, that means the reservation form is now done. I'm taking that. Now I have to work on their quote. So as you can see on mine,
She's very busy.
I book a lot of travel, so I've got a lot of quotes to work on. But knowing that the most important, easiest ones are probably going up top, okay? But once the quote is complete and they book their trip, okay, now it's going to go on the either paid commissions, right? They have to pay. So booked and paid. That means these people have already booked their trip and they're paying. They already paid, they booked, they're just ready to go. Okay, so this was here. Okay, this stays on here until the trip is done. Okay. Or they're doing this one where it says payments due. That means these people are waiting. Once I did the quote, they paid a deposit. Now it's going on this clipboard. That means I have to keep track of who's getting payments. Now this is where,
Very important if you're doing a payment plan.
this is where your calendar comes in. So I know if Susie's going on a trip on January 21st, that has to be put on here, or it's going to be put on your phone. Google Sheet, your Google Calendar, your organization book on here, right? It's on here. So that's when Susie's going on her trip to Bahamas. Done, right? That means when I go to January, 21st on here, okay, then I just need to put maybe 2 or 3 days later, message Susie, make sure she's got all of her stuff. Hey, Susie, you have all your paperwork? Okay, you got your passport ready? Do you need me to send you anything? I can sign you in. Do you want me to check you in? Some people want to check in. They've got so many kids going, oh my God, I'm going to forget. Don't worry, I got you. Some people want to check themselves in. I usually ask and just make sure. Do you want me to check you in? Because I can send you the pass list to your text message. You'll have it right then and there. In case you forget it, I have it. Oh my God, I forgot to print it out. Don't worry, I got you. Okay,
Yep.
You're in charge, but it's always going to be on here, regardless, especially if they're doing payments. Now, let's just say Susie is doing payments, right? That means if she's doing a payment on the 21st, right? But it's due on the 27th. Let's just say your payment's due on the 27th. I'm not going to tell her, hey, your last payment's due on the 27th. You always tell her that the payment is due, I don't know, 4 or 5 days prior. What if you can't get a hold of Susie on the 27th? You're probably going to be having a fit going, oh my God, Molly, what do? I can't get a hold of her. I don't know what to do. Don't do that to yourself.
Or it's a weekend or they're out of town. I mean, people have lives, right? So these things happen.
You just never know. So why wait? Always do it a couple of days prior. But you know that every 21st, Susie has a payment every single month of $50, whatever you had scheduled her for, right? Now for me, I always tell them, yes, it's $90 a month. But if you can't pay $90, that's okay. I don't care how much you give me, as long as I get the full payment by whenever the due date is, that's fine. But you have to keep yourself organized, and that's another topic of booking organization. But does that make sense?
Yes, no questions. That was a great insight to a high volume booker.
It's a lot of work when you're coming to organize, especially when you're doing groups and who's paying what and who's doing this, and same thing. I had a client that their cruise got canceled. 5 cabins got canceled, right? There's about 4 people each. So I had to go back and figure out, okay, and write down, because there was different cards, not in each cabin, but different cards per month that was going on. So I had to write back to her, okay, $90 was refunded on this card. So and so, cabin 1, this money was refunded. Cabin 2, $30 was sent back to, 576. Cabin 3, da-da-da. You have to be organized with it all, especially if you're dealing with more than one room or one cabin. Okay. And it can't be like, oh my God. And that's what we're here for. We can look at it for you and fix it up and organize it properly if you need to. Okay. Okay. Now let's go back to our, Molly, I go a screen share here.
Yep.
As you see, this is so much fun for me. Okay, so now we have our client forms. Now we can go to, thank you. Part 1 is now over. Okay, we really appreciate, as far as organization for travel related stuff, we're actually going to stop recording and go into something else.